We are going to be doing a tier list of Godzilla designs based solely on appearance. Whether or not they achieve some crazy feat in a movie or if they battled a certain monster that you like, it doesn't really matter. We are just doing Godzilla suit designs, ranking them tier list style. That is it. Design only, okay? Doesn't matter if the movie's good or if the movie's bad. No, that's it. Design only. We're going to start with the very first one. This is Godzilla 1954. I thought a lot about this before I even started stream. I was like, okay, how do I rank this? Because it's an iconic monster. It really is. It's debatably one of the most iconic Godzilla iterations ever. So the thing is I'm bouncing between S or A. I think I'm going to keep it at A solely for the reason that it is iconic, but he looks very goofy in a lot of shots. Those giant, almost like googly eyes kind of thing. It just, sometimes it really doesn't work. So we're going to have it at A because, again, it's just design only. That's it. Up next, we've got Godzilla Raids Again from 1955. I'm a fan, I gotta say. I'm leaning more towards B or C. The thing is it's definitely a slimmer take on the character. That's for sure the thing that people hate the most, I would argue. I love the fangs. I love how off-putting and eerie it looks. It's weird, that's for sure. But I'm gonna put it at B. I'm a big fan of how this one looks in general. So yeah, we got 1962 Godzilla from King Kong versus Godzilla. Now, this one I'm iffy on. We're going to throw this in C for now. A lot of my issues with this specific design really kind of stem from the fact that it looks bizarre at times. It's very bulky at the bottom, and then it gets more kind of up. I don't know. It has a weird silhouette is what I'm trying to kind of get at. And it's an okay design in my books. I don't know. There's just something about it where it seems off. It reminds me a lot of some of the American Godzilla designs where he looked very dinosaur-esque. And to me, that just doesn't embody Godzilla. And we'll get into that too, because you'll see, especially with the Hanna-Barbera one and the Marvel one, I'm not a fan of those just because they're just too dinosaur-esque. I'm not a fan. Anyways, King Kong versus Godzilla. That's a all right design. It's perfectly fine. It's serviceable. It does its job. It's intimidating for sure. But yeah, I don't know. All right, Mothra versus Godzilla. I like this one a lot. I'm going to put it up in B. This is in no particular order as of right now. Otherwise, it's going to get way too convoluted. So these are all B. They're all at the same level, in my opinion. Okay. Mothra versus Godzilla. I like how intimidating this one looks. I love the eyebrows. I just enjoy how it looks. It looks tough, and that's kind of what I dig about it. Yeah, Third Street Godzilla is in this for sure. It's right here in between Final Wars and the Gareth Edwards Godzilla. So my thing with the Mothra Godzilla is it's really kind of slowly transforming into that typical Showa era Godzilla that we all know and love. So 1968 for me, it's S tier. Just again, that's purely nostalgia. However, I think this is kind of the prototype of that. But yeah, B tier. I think it looks tough, it looks intimidating, and Godzilla's a villain in that movie, so it serves its purpose design wise. It works. Simple as. So now this is the one that was used from, I believe, Astro Monster all the way up until, maybe it was even used in Ghidorah. I'm pretty sure it's used in Ghidorah all the way up until Ebra Horror of the Deep. It's okay. I'm going to put it here at C tier. It does its job, but it's really nothing to write home about. I don't know. It's fine. That's where I'm at. It's C tier. It's okay. It's not really intimidating. It isn't really cute. It's kind of in this weird uncanny valley for me. Speaking of uncanny valley, we've got Son of Godzilla. Now, I want to reserve F for ones that are downright terrible, ones that are not Godzilla. You know what I mean? So, for me, I'm going to put this at E. While I do consider it to be the worst suit, I don't think it's the worst Godzilla design because There are bad ones. There are ones where it's like, oh dear God, this is not Godzilla. You know, Son of Godzilla, you kind of look at it, you're like, it's still Godzilla. Yes, the face is horrible. The proportions are really bad. A lot of that has to do with the fact that the neck, they raised it up so that when he stands next to Minya, there was a noticeable size difference. So, yeah, I'm gonna stick with E on this one. 1968 Godzilla, I'm going S tier. This is nostalgia, like full transparency. I'm being nostalgic with this design. That is why I love it so much. It was the very first Godzilla toy that I ever had that was officially licensed Godzilla. That wasn't in like an Imperial one. 1968 Godzilla is my all-time favorite. I absolutely adore it. It's so, like, it strikes that balance of cute and also like menacing, like you can put up a fight. And that's really cool. All right, this is the one from Megaguirus onwards in the Showa era. I'm going to put it at, I think, A. A's a pretty good spot. I like, again, it carries a lot of the design philosophy that I like from the 1968 one, where it's cute, it's menacing, all that type of stuff. But again, there's just certain elements of it where it feels more like a man in a suit, if that makes sense. I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that it was not Haru Nakajima in the suit. And again, that's partially design, partially movie, but still the design does play a factor in hiding that it's not a man in a suit. I don't know. I didn't really get that with a lot of these, but with this one, that just kind of knocks it down to A tier for me. Just, it's something about that design that throws me off. I don't know what it is. Also, in chat, Space Godzilla is not Godzilla. Yeah, it's G-Cells, but we're not ranking Space Godzilla because it's a different character. All right, Marvel Godzilla. I'm going to go F tier. I'm sorry, guys. This might rustle some jimmies. I don't know. But it just doesn't feel like Godzilla to me. It just feels like very generic monster. And I mean, they literally took that monster and they like redesigned it. So I'll show you actually. So what did they renamed him to something? I gotta find it. I can't remember what it's called. Because I saw it and it was really bizarre. They put like an American flag on him. Oh my word, what was this called? Yeah, I mean, this is the design here. So, not a fan of that gut. It's just too Godzilla. Oh wait. That kind of, yeah, that was it. This is it because they put an American flag on him. What's he called? Okay, because they renamed him. Originally Todd Ziller? Is that? No way that's his name. His name is not Todd Ziller. Oh my god, his name. Okay, American Kaiju is the name. What I'm getting at is the fact that they could like rename him and everything and barely change the design just kind of goes to show it's not that good of a design of Godzilla. It's very generic. Doesn't really embody it. But yeah, the fact that this is now the American Kaiju or Godzilla from the 70s. They renamed him, put an American flag on him, and called it a day. I like this. This is kind of cool, but not Godzilla. It's a cool design. Hanna-Barbera Godzilla, I'm also going to put it here. I don't get Godzilla vibes with it. I have the exact same problem. It is a separate character, by the way. This is a separate character, but it was made because they had the Avengers fight Godzilla, and they went, you know, we still want to use this concept, so they renamed it, touched up the design just a little bit, but you could still tell it's very Godzilla with a lot of these frames. So this is Godzilla, but not really. Okay, yeah, Hanna-Barbera Godzilla, I'm putting an F tier. It's just too... It has the same problems as the Marvel Godzilla. It just doesn't feel like Godzilla to me. It just feels like very generic monster. You say in chat, you say that Hanna-Barbera Godzilla is S tier for you because of nostalgia and him being your first Godzilla that you were introduced to. Completely fair. That's fair. I am the same way with 1968 Godzilla. It's valid, you know. For you, it is what it is. For me, it is what it is. But there's just something about the Hanna-Barbera Godzilla where it just, I don't get Godzilla vibes, you know? So, I don't know. I don't get Godzilla from this. Shout out Godzuki, though. Godzuki's the GOAT. But yeah, I don't know. You know, it does have the maple leaf. I don't know. This feels slightly more Godzilla. You know what I'll do just as a consolation for the Hanna-Barbera fan in the chat? We're going to move Hanna-Barbera up, even though I said that doesn't really matter, but Godzuki goes crazy. The show is decent. It's a fun Hanna-Barbera series. Like, I'm cool with it. It's just, we're just talking design here. But yeah, sorry, F tier for me. 84 Godzilla. I gotta say, I like it. I do. I know that Cybot Godzilla is kind of controversial among fans. That's completely valid. I get that. Giant animatronic that they built. And it's also this cursed image here. But yeah, so this is part of the design. I'm considering this as a Godzilla. Part of this 84 design, I should say. Sorry. I know people don't like this. I know this is a toy, but we're still going to... It has these same elements. I know people don't like this kind of like hourglass thing here. And that the hips are really wide. I understand that. I still dig it. Again, I have the same problems with this one that I do with the 54 Godzilla, where it sometimes goes like cross-eyed or like it just looks bug-eyed and kind of off. So I'm going to put him here at C for those very reasons. I think it's cool. I just wish that the eyes weren't so like weird, and if it was a bit, I don't know. There's just something about it where it's like it's cool in concept, but yeah, in execution kind of fell flat on its face. All right, this is Godzilla versus Biollante Godzilla. I'm going to go A tier with this one. For years, I just assumed that these were all just kind of like the same designs with the Heisei stuff, but I guess this one kind of has like a cone head type thing going on. So I'm not a fan of that. I'm going to put that at A tier. Let's see. I'm going to go S with these because I think you really can't go wrong with any of the Heisei designs, especially Burning Godzilla. There's just something about it where it's... When I think of Godzilla, that's kind of the very first Godzilla design that I imagine in my brain. You know, that's the peak in a way. I don't really know how to really explain it other than it might be because of the marketing. It might be because of all that type of stuff with it being in all the Pipeworks games, and that was a big part of my childhood. Same with Godzilla 2000, which we'll get to. But in my brain, it's peak. It really is. TriStar Godzilla, F tier again. I'm sorry, but it's not Godzilla. Like, yes, the movie's called Godzilla. The movie is okay, I think, at least. I think it's a fine movie. But yeah, TriStar Godzilla, it's not Godzilla. It isn't. Yeah, F tier for sure. And I'm going to do the same thing with Godzilla the series. Again, I understand people love Godzilla the series. I get that, you know. I like it. But it's the same design as Zilla, really. You know, like it's just an animated version. I get the series is great. I'm all for it, but we're going just design here. So F tier for that one. Just on the basis of it literally just being Zilla, you know. Anyways, Godzilla 2000. We're going S tier again. Again, this design for me just goes crazy. I mean, there's this shot. I've used it in a few thumbnails where he's like coming out of the water. I gotta find this because this, yeah. I mean, come on. Come on. Tell me this doesn't go crazy. This design is easily one of the best. Easily S tier. I love the purple. I love the way it's used. I love the fangs. Everything about it is so cool. I love the posture. I guess this is a toy. I know we're not supposed to consider that. This is more of a fair shot of Godzilla here. But yeah, the muted purple there I kind of dig. But this is nuts. I love it. Such a cool design. All right. GMK Godzilla. Okay. Here's the thing, right? I have some problems with GMK Godzilla. The more I rewatch GMK, the more I notice like its bizarre posture. I'll show you kind of what I mean. Give me a second here. So, like this just seems off to me. This kind of like weird, like hunchback sort of thing. I love the face. The face is awesome. One of the best Godzilla faces ever. But it's that posture for me that's just so weird. I don't know. There's just something about the way that he kind of moves that's hard to really describe, but it's just off. He seems like, I don't know, almost like Potbelly-esque. And like in still pictures, he looks cool. Like, this is cool. I like this as a toy, but you get what I'm saying. I love the one guy that gave it a 1-star review. That's funny. But like, I'm not a fan of that posture. I know it's a toy. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Like, there's something about the posture that's just like off to me. But no, I know it's supposed to be an undead spirit. I'm just talking about the way that it stands and moves. When it's actually in movement on screen, that's kind of my biggest issue with it. Like, this seems off. I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna go A. It's like A to like S. Like, it's like almost there, but there's like, the face is nuts. I love it. Kiryu Godzilla, I'm gonna go A. I think that it looks the best when it's got like that scar. You know what I'm talking about? Let me pull it up again. Yeah, so you can really see it in like the toys. This, I think, is an official still. I love the scar. It's such a cool detail. Yeah, it's also a toy. I'm trying not to look at toys to get more of an accurate film look here. But I think this is kind of a nice translation of like Godzilla 2000. Okay, let's do this so I don't look at the toys, because I don't want to see that. I want to see stills. Yeah, here we go. I just adore how this looks. I like the white. I think it contrasts nicely with how like 2000 looks. Like, this is kind of a cool, I don't know, like it's a different interpretation of the monster for sure. Also, I agree with you that the eyes are really big, so it gives him a lot of expression. Obviously, it's supposed to be a villain, but I like that he's expressive. That's cool to me. Like, there's a shot, I'm picturing it right now, where he is this it? No, it's not this one. Yeah, this one. He's like soy jacking. Yeah, but there's one where he's like, you know, like his eyes open up, and I love how expressive he is in that moment. Like, it's wonderful. Okay, Final Wars Godzilla. I'm gonna put him up in A. I love the cat-like look. I love the fangs. It's so like, you can tell he can fight. That's what I like most about it. It serves the narrative purpose. And for me, that's kind of like the utilitarian angle that I try to take with a lot of these sort of like rankings. And he can move. He's like, you know, like you said, he's agile. He can get around. I like that a lot. So for me, A tier for that very reason. I kind of dig the ears too. I don't know. I dig it. Shin Form 1, it's just a tail, so I don't really know. We're probably not going to include that one. Again, I didn't make this, but Always Sunset on 3rd Street Godzilla, it's okay. Yeah, it's about here for me. Like, we don't really see it much. That's my issue with it. We don't really see it much. I understand that's kind of part of it, but, you know, design-wise, what can you do? If you only get like little glimpses of it, I'm going to see if there's like a maquette maybe that we can look at. So we've got this one here. That is not it. Hold on. I think this is probably our best look at it for sure. And it's okay. That's a horrible render. Whoever did that should be shot. Okay. Yeah, I wish the spines were a bit bigger. And again, I'm just not a fan of that gamer neck where it goes like this. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan of that neck design. I don't know. It's posture for me. I don't like it when it's really hunched. But I'm going to keep it here. It's okay. You know what? Yeah, I think B's a good spot. Now we got Legendary, but Legendary, this is 2014 Godzilla. I'm going to have it in A tier. It's fantastic with how they modernized the character of Godzilla. I love it. It's cool. But the spines, man, I just wish that they had those maple leaf spines. You know what I mean? Like, that's my gripe. And of course, that gripe is fixed with 2019. So I'll just throw 2019 here since I'm kind of just praising both. The 2019 Godzilla from King of the Monsters, and okay, they don't include Godzilla versus Kong, but when they included that maple leaf kind of thing, it's so cool. I love it. Pinhead Godzilla, not official, so it's not here. No real like fan things. All right, Kamada-kun. We are gonna throw Kamada-kun in C. It's cute. I like it, but again, it almost kind of borders on like not really being Godzilla. Same with this one. They're both kind of like. I'm gonna go back and reorder them. Yeah, don't worry. I will reorder these so that it's in like my favorites. But for now, I'm just kind of throwing them all just scattershot. But Shin is S for me. Anime Godzilla. I wish it was more expressive. I should probably talk about Shin. Sorry. Yeah, these two are just kind of here at C. And 2016 Shin Godzilla, I just love how it looks like... go away, CC Cleaner. I love how it just looks like a burn victim. And it's like so... it's gross to look at. It looks like it just hurts to move around. And it really fits what the film is trying to do. I love how it looks just like a static, like almost like a statue just like looming in the distance. It's fantastic. But yeah, that's why it's up to C. I adore it. I adore it. Okay, 2017. Man, I'm like E or D. I think I'm going to go E with this one. And that has nothing to do with the quality of the show, or I should say the trilogy. It has nothing to do with the trilogy being not that great. Oh, my dog's here. That's my dog. Come on, you're good. You can sleep there. I don't care. Okay. Yeah, so anime Godzilla, I think it is Godzilla Earth. I just kind of know it as anime Godzilla. Yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't, it's not as expressive, and it doesn't feel like Godzilla all the way. It still has like the silhouette of him. It's fine, but I'm not a fan. All right, Snow Godzilla. I'm going to go D. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. I remember when this came out, and people were kind of like losing their minds over it, thinking it was great, but I just can't get around this. I don't know. I don't like the snow. You know, like, I don't even know. I don't get it. It's like, okay. Oh, I don't want to go on this website. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan. This is Gemstone. Yeah, they do kind of look similar with Gemstone, and Gemstone I'm also kind of on the fence with it, but I don't know. It's meh. All right, these things, again, they don't look like Godzilla, so they don't even, yeah, that goes F. I'm not even going to really elaborate. They just don't look like Godzilla to me. Ultima Godzilla, I'm going to put it in D, same tier with Snow Godzilla. It's cool. I'm not a big fan of the hips, though. The hips are very wide. Let me try to find it really quick. Yeah, I don't know. It's just too wide at the hips. I think if you took it and you slimmed it down more, it would have been fantastic. That's a toy. We don't want to look at a toy, but yeah, this to me is just not Godzilla. So that's why I'm just throwing it in F. Like this kind of looks cool from this angle. Again, not a big fan of the hunch, but like I don't like how big the legs are. That's my issue. This is fine. I know it's a toy. I'm sorry. But like it has moments where it looks awesome. Like look at this. This is sick. This is awesome. This is kind of like its own thing. This might even be fan art. No, I think that's an official poster. I'm not sure. But it has moments where it looks really cool. But it's just those hips, man. I like this poster too. This is very underrated. I dig that. Okay. Gigan Rex. I have the same issues that I have with D tier. It just doesn't work for me. The face is just kind of like too squished. I don't know. All right. -1 Godzilla. We're going S tier. I talked about it in my review. It's a members only review, so you got to be a member if you want to see it. But I talked about how much I love -1's design. It feels like the perfect mix of like the Heisei Godzilla, but modernized. And yeah, it's beautiful. It's threatening too. The eyes are like almost like bloodshot at times, it seems, where it's like chasing them down in the boat. That scene is incredible. I don't know. To me, that's peak right there. All right. Evolved Godzilla, we're going to go D tier. I know this is also kind of a hot take, and this might make some people mad. I don't know. But here we go. I've talked a little bit about this. And I'm not a fan of Evolved Godzilla. But here's my main issue with it. I know this is a toy. I'm not going to look at toys. We're going to look at the actual... That's also a toy. Shoot. Is there a better render? Is there a way where we can actually judge it based on how it appears in the film? Because that would be great. I don't want to cherry pick. You know what I mean? Because it feels wrong to look at a toy and go, look at how bad this design is. But, like, here's the thing, right? I think the pink kind of works. Like, this looks cool here. This is one of my favorite shots of Godzilla. Like, I adore it. But is this a better render? I don't know. I don't like how he looks like Godzilla on Ozempic. I'm not a big fan of this either. Like, if that just looked like a bone, I wouldn't really have a problem with it. But, yeah, I agree with you. The proportions just look bizarre. I don't like the stomach, how it looks almost like he's, like, sucking in his gut. That's not... Oh, thanks, Reddit. Anyways. Like, I don't know. I just don't like how this looks here. This is my least favorite part. And this almost borders on being, like, Singular Point. It's, I actually disagree. I think it's too bottom-heavy. I think that it looks like they just took the same bottom as, like, this Godzilla and then just, like, threw him on. I don't know. I get they wanted him to look, like, buff. I get that's the intention, but I think this looks better. He looks more like a tank here. This is more of what I would want out of the design. This looks cool. This shot's cool. Again, the pink, in theory, I'm iffy on. I think it works in some shots. It works. It doesn't work in others. I wish it was more of a purple. That's kind of my main issue. But, yeah, I'm not a fan of like how the gut looks so sunken in. Not a fan. Do I like Singular Point? It's fine. But I don't know. My main issue with Singular Point is that it takes forever to get into the Godzilla stuff. The human stuff is just not interesting by any metric. It's too like focused on trying to be smart, and in the end, it just doesn't come off as smart. It comes off as like pretentious. Okay, now we're gonna like rank all these and go in each column here. We'll start at the bottom. I definitely like the Zilla design more than these. These are more interesting, so I'm going to put them this way. I like the Titanosaurus one a little bit more than this one, so we'll go kind of in this order. I think this is solid. I think this is kind of solid here. All right, now we've got Son of Godzilla versus Anime Godzilla. I'm going to put Son of Godzilla just behind it. I'll do it this way. Okay. We're going to put Godzilla, Evolved Godzilla, I should say, here. We'll do, yeah, I think that's solid, I think. Okay. Yeah, I think I actually kind of nailed this one, though. I'm going to move 84 Godzilla up just a little bit. I like Raids Again where it is. I like that one where it is. I think we're going to stick with B tier, keep it as is. We're going to go GMK is probably the best on this list. Legendary is also really good. We're going to put it here. We're going to put Bio Goji here. We're going to put Final Goji here. Yeah, okay. That's a solid A tier, I think. And then for S tier, I'm going to have 68 here just because he's my favorite. It's nostalgia. It's nostalgia. Full transparency. We're going to do -1 all the way over here. Shin over here. Burning Godzilla ahead of all the other Heisei ones. And then we're going to do Godzilla 2000 here. And I think this is pretty solid. I think at least. This is... Okay. So this is my Godzilla tier list. If you agree or disagree, let me know. I'm curious. Why is King of the Monsters at S? Well, I love the legendary Godzilla design in general. I think that it just... It slaps. It's that modernized Godzilla look that I adore. I love the Maple Leaf ones, for sure. Because that was my gripe with the Gareth Edwards Godzilla, was that it didn't have the maple leaf spines, and it's like they heard me complaining about that. They didn't. I was in high school, and they fixed it, and I love that. I love how this looks, especially in the promotional material. But like this shot goes crazy. This is one of my favorite Godzilla shots, and I just think a lot of that has to do with the design itself. So that's why I have it so high, because Gareth Edwards Godzilla is here, and King of the Monsters Godzilla is right there. What is the review name? Are you talking about my -1 review? That's a members only video. You got to be a member to check it out. I'm still going to do a retrospective on -1. It just won't be out until much later in the year.